Hello, I'm Chris, this is Gross Models, and welcome to day 26 of 30 days lost in space. It's the final stretch. We're in the last week. We've, turned our lights on, we've measured things, got solar power working, we've sorted out our buoyancy issues, so we were underwater, now we're on the... Then we got to orbit, we've actually launched last week, so now we're on our way home. Now this day is called Defend Your Ship Chapter 1, which scares me a little bit. But Alex will tell us exactly what's going to be happening throughout this week.
Incoming transmission from Adventure Corp. This is Alex. Thank goodness you guys are finally in space. You guys are finally on your way home. You guys, it has been a very great couple of, I guess this is 3 weeks now that you guys have been on that foreign planet. With that being said, you guys are finally safely coming home. But with that, there is one other thing I want to mention, and that is that in this time of the year, it sounds like you guys will be going through a little bit of a asteroid debris field in a couple different locations on the transport back. So over the next 4 or 5 days, I'm going to be making sure that your guys' system can be set up properly to defend against all that extra space debris that will be coming at your way. And with that, I'm using some code that already exists out there inside of the one of the libraries I have installed for the OLED display. And in that game, it simply is it's a space game. So you have your character, if I can show this maybe on the display, you have your character, which will be on the left side going up and down. So you'll have 3 controls, up, down, and then a fire button. And you'll just be trying to avoid any asteroid debris or other type space debris. So we'll have a couple wall objects that'll appear, at least that is what the game has programmed. And your job is to just simply avoid them for as long as you can.
Right, so there's no actual building at all today. It's all about the code, and the code has already been written for us. What we're actually going to be doing is basically just going through it a little bit and seeing if I can understand, well, any of it, let's be honest. Right, most of it I think I understand. This is not full code by any stretch. This is basically setting up the first bit for the whole week of writing a program, so we're going to be playing a game on the little screen using the buttons. So it's using some of the stuff that we've learned before and how to program the screen and everything else, but to use somebody else's game code to simulate ourselves flying through space and taking care of asteroids and stuff. So in the code itself, which you can see up there, all the way over there, I can't quite reach it, but it's there. We've got 3 libraries. The Arduino library, apparently you don't need. If you ever call anything from it, it'll automatically just sort of use it. But it's apparently good practice to put it in, because then if somebody just uses the file, then they'll open this up and they'll know that it's designed for an Arduino board. Now that to me makes perfect sense. So it's no hardship to put it in. So we'll leave it where it'll be. This is the library for the OLED screen, and the library for the keypad, which again we're going to be using as the week goes on. The next line there is again setting up the screen. Apparently this is a slightly different library. This is the U8G2 library, which apparently we weren't using last time. I don't remember which codes and things we were using before, but it's slightly different. So this line here might be slightly different to set up for the different screens that you can possibly be using. Right, then we've got a chunk here which is setting up the keypad, which we're not plugging in yet, and the keys may well be different because I might rotate it around again. It looks like we're just using the 1 row for going up, 2 rows for firing, and the bottom row for going down. We only need 3 buttons. So we're doing that, setting up where it's going to be plugged in, setting up initial things for firing up and down, because they're commands that we're going to be using. Right, keypad, yeah, it's programming the keypad again, not a problem. Right, this is where it gets different. With different object types. We're setting up a structure, which is a struct. We're setting up structure, ST for structure, OT for object types, and struct just because we've got to name it something, I think. So this is different. We're setting up the objects that are going to be used throughout the program and the game, and basically giving them nice names that we can use, and then we can work on things from that. So we've got the missile mask. We're going to be able to fire missiles, basically. That's what the F button will do. It might destroy something if the target is hit and if it can be destroyed, basically. So we need to define what the missile mask is, the hit mask, points, obviously some sort of score system, drawing and moving functions. Basically, we just set them up and making sure they're a thing that we can use. So again, if it's destroyed, if it's hit, when we fire, I think. Then we're setting up other objects which are visible at the play area, which basically things you can see on the screen. So these are all the things that can be used, and these are the ones that we can see at the time. So going down here, object type 0 means it's not used. A generic value used by move implode, apparently. Yeah. So this is setting up where things are going to appear and how they're going to be shown. The outline in pixels. Reference point at the top left, 0, 0. Right, now this we haven't gone through yet. We're basically defining things again. We've got, I say nothing, if we would need to put nothing there. I don't know what a B box is yet, but we'll figure that out. Trash is just objects on screen. Player 1, trash 2, player 2, player 3. We're going to be able to upgrade our spaceship on our way home with putting extra guns on it, basically. So we need 3 different versions of the ship. Gadget is the upgrade thing. Don't know what slash and backslash are. Well, I know what they are, but I don't know what they are in this relation. Big trash, again, is just a bigger version of the asteroid. Movement options, which again we'll be going through and doing more in the programming, but we need to define everything, basically. Hitboxes and walls, destroying, it's technically animations, I would think, probably. Setting up when we fire, it's going to show different things. And setting up the trash, dust, implosions, gadget imploding, and dust and things, and everything else. The graphics objects, again, we're just setting up for next time, defining the area height. This is the screen size, basically, but because this program is written for multiple types of screen, we're using the library to grab the size and height rather than programming in sort of solidly. This is making it more variable, so it'll work on more devices. Right, the object types. We're using this, as far as I can tell, on an 8x8 grid, so we can have it designed and defined on a smaller programming footprint. Because obviously the board reprogramming is very small. You can't have absolutely everything programmed onto it. You won't be able to have big, 3D worlds and everything like that. It's very, very simple programming, although complicated for me. So we're setting different things for if the player's destroyed, crash, when they're firing a missile, spaceships. Again, setting up the variables for the different things. This is the objects on screen. I, again, don't know. I think we're talking about the number of objects allowed on the screen because of hardware limitations and everything else. And obviously you don't want to make it too difficult. So that's some if else things to make the, I don't know, if it's too high then it will make it lower, I think. About the player's ship, again we're defining that the player's position, how many points you've got. It might be hit points or score points, I don't know. It's got a high score, so it's probably score points. You probably only get the 1 hit point. When you get hit, you blow up. Defining overall game states. There's obviously 3 different prepare and prepare 1, or prepare and I prepare, game end and I end. Again, I don't know what they are. Obviously prepare is before the game starts, game is while the game is on, and then we've got the ending. I don't know why there's 2 states for each of those. Difficulty, again, is a variable depending on the number of things that can possibly appear on screen. 1 is the simplest level. Apparently we can go to level 14 for some reason. That that will be the maximum number of objects on screen at any one time. So the more there are, the harder it gets. This is the fun bit. We're setting up bitmaps. This is the bitmap for the player one. The initial player ship looks like that. It just looks like well, not these bits. It looks like these bits that they commented out. So basically, if you imagine the zeros as being blank and the ones as being a little square, it's making a little arrow that goes sort of like that. And this here, the 0x is nothing really. The 60 is that number there in hexadecimal. So that's in binary, 011000000 is 060 in hex. So it's a simpler way of saying it, but they've got to do that for each line of the ship. And then when you get to be player 2, you've got the same ship down the bottom here, but an extra bit at the top, an extra gun sticking out the wing there. And when you get player 3, assuming you pick up the power-ups, you've got the ship in the middle, same as player 2 at the top there, and player 3 is the little one down the bottom there. Now, you could easily change any of these to different graphics. If you wanted a ship to be, you know, a little bit pointier, you could put an extra 1 on there, and then you'd need to add that. So that would actually become 7F, if my hex calculates okay. You could put pointy bits on the end of the wings just by changing, you know, the arrangement and then working out what the hex code is, which is interesting to me. These are making a couple of bitmaps for the trash or the asteroids. They're just going to look sort of like that. If you can imagine them being, say, blocks rather than ones, and a bigger asteroid, and the gadget, the power up that you pick up is basically a giant 0 by the looks of it. And that's it. There's no actual programming to run yet. Tomorrow we're coming back and putting in some more stuff for that. So there's not really anything to show you on the screen because, well, I haven't even plugged it in. But until I think day 3, we actually get to see what these things look like on the screen. But until we've got some logic, and we haven't even told it to print anything to a screen. So there's nothing to show you there yet. And that's it for the day. That's so far so good. I think I understand most of the things that are going into it. Obviously, these bitmaps are going to be called, at certain points, it's going to say, put this bitmap there, and that'll be easy, and animate it in this way, or do this when a button's pushed. So I think I understand how it's going to work, but it's obviously big and convoluted, and yeah, I'm going to get lost somewhere along the line. So stick around, come back tomorrow, where I'm going to be more confused than I am today, which might sound difficult, but it can happen. So thank you for watching today. Sorry there's no actual building or anything. I can't play around or try anything because I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing more than normal, you know what I mean. So thank you for watching today. Join me tomorrow where we put in more codes that I don't really understand. So thank you again. See you soon. Bye bye.
And so if you upload this currently, it won't do a whole lot. As you can see clearly in the void and setup and void loop, they are, as of right now, very empty. But coming tomorrow, we're going to get a little bit more extra code in there. We're going to have everything that's up here at the top, and then we're going to add in a little bit of extra stuff. Later on, that's simply going to give us the logic, and then day 3 will draw everything out, make sure everything appears on the screen then, and then you'll finally have something on the board. And day 4 will add the controls to get you guys able to control the game and all that other stuff. So unfortunately, without, even though I don't have a very flashy thing to show you guys today, look forward to tomorrow getting the rest of the logic done to get the second part of this very large, extremely somewhat complicated for a beginner game started. But without further ado, this has been Alex once again. I'm out. I'm going to see you guys once again tomorrow. Thank you guys so much.